Hey, what's up? I wanted to record a short video on how I got into the world of SEO. Because when I got started, I wish someone had told me this because I did a lot of mistakes, and I just want to go over what they are, what they were actually, and how I got into it, and how I would get into it today, which I think is the right way. So it's going to be a video on my experience, but I think it's really valuable if you're just getting started into SEO. To hear from someone that got into it a while back and made a lot of mistakes, I really do think it's important to get a glimpse of what they were. So I got started into SEO with rank and rent. Some of you might know what this is. Essentially, it's the process of ranking your own site and then renting it out to other people, other businesses. Now, the way you rent it is that you can do a monthly fee, right? Monthly recurring fee, or you can just sell the leads. Now, I'll go over into these in just a second, but selling leads can be a bit complicated, both for you or for the client. But I'll go over this in just a bit. Now, the good thing about this is that you own the asset being the site, right? So when I was doing SEO, and I thought to myself, because I saw a video of a guy back in the day named Alex Becker with SourceWave, and if you've been doing SEO for a long time, you know who this is. And he was talking about rank and rent. And for me, it made a lot of sense, much more sense than going on Google, searching for whatever dentist in Dallas, and calling up every single dentist and doing work on their site. Because what could happen is that after 3-4 months, they could fire you. And all the work that you did on their site would essentially just be gone. So why do the work on someone else's site when you can do it on your own? And this way, nobody can fire you, right? Because when you rank your own site, you can essentially, via the rank and rent method, rent it out to all of these potential clients, right? You can even, if you're dreaming big, you can even have different pages, different location pages on your site and rent out each one of these individual location pages to multiple clients. So you can have a site rented out to 6 clients or 6 businesses, for example. For example, if you have a dentist directory that you rank for in Dallas and a bunch of other locations, you can rent out each one of those individual location pages to an individual dentist, right? So you can make a lot of money that way. Now, what I did back in the day was essentially rank my site for a branded term and for a lot of other terms, and then called up all the clients in that niche. I searched on Google for a specific search term and called up every single one of them, every single one by one. Now, my success rate doing this was much higher than doing this, because when you do this, when you want to do SEO work for someone else, you have to call them up and they receive a ton of calls and tell them, hey, listen, I'm the best that is at SEO. I can rank your site number 1. I can make you a lot of money. Now, that versus something like, hey, listen, my site is currently ranking number 1. I have all these leads coming in. I have nowhere to send them. Do we want to get these leads from me? Can you take care of these leads from me? And that's an irrefusable offer, right? Because you already have the leads to send to them. So why would any business refuse leads? The answer is most of them won't, because most of the ones that I called would say yes, sorry. Then I'll pick the ones that I could negotiate the best offer with. Because like I said, you can do a monthly recurring, you can do lead selling, whatever. Now, this is much easier to sell than this, because these guys get a ton of calls and you're not special, right? And unless you're a very good salesman, it's going to be very hard to do this. So that's why rank and rent was very attractive for me, because I could just call them up and say, hey, listen, I got all these leads coming in. I have nowhere to send them. Do you want to take care of them? They would say yes all the time. Now, granted, I was doing this in Portugal, which is most likely much less competitive than the USA or any other country. I guess Portugal might be more competitive than other countries, but I guess just to put things into perspective, I was doing this in Portugal. So yeah. Now, that's how I got into it, and that's what I did, rank and rent, which was very, very smart. Then, not that I invented rank and rent, I just saying that it was a smart way to do it. Now, one thing I regret is not choosing the right niche at first, because the issue with the rank and rent and with SEO in general is that if you're doing SEO for a florist, right, a business that sells flowers, let's say a flower costs, I don't know, $2 maybe. Okay, that's a flower. Let's do $5, right? If you're charging $1,000 a month for SEO, right, which is cheap, depends. Okay, whatever, $1,000 a month. They need to sell a ton of flowers to recoup back the 1K investment. Now, on the other hand, if you are doing SEO, for example, this is a dentist, I guess, for a dentist, or for, let's say, a plastic surgeon, which was what I did later on, a surgery can be upwards of 3,000. So the $1,000 investment they're making every single month doesn't seem that big, right? And that's just one lead that converts. So when I got started, I chose electricians, and then I went to plumbers, then I went to dentists, and then I went to plastic surgery. Now, electricians, at least here in Portugal, the average repair or whatever is around, let's say, 100, 150 to 100 euros max. Let's do 150. So I was having all the work, and in all of these, I was essentially having the same work, right? Setting up the site, ranking it up, all that. Of course, when you go to the more competitive niches, it becomes harder to rank the sites, but it's not how do I say this? It's not very well balanced. So yes, it's harder to rank a site here on the plastic surgery niche, but the amount you get per lead, which is 3K, more or less, depends on the surgery. The amount to get here is much more worth it than the amount to get here. So you essentially have more or less the same work here and here, but the difference in pricing is way higher. And this means that a plastic surgeon, is much more willing to pay upwards or much more than $1,000 per month than, of course, a florist, or in my case, an electrician. Now, I was also doing, other than selling them on a monthly recurring basis, I was getting paid per lead. Now, of course, I wasn't getting paid the full amount. Let's say 30% of the lead. I was getting, let's do really quick math. I was getting paid $45. Now, if I was getting 30% of 3,000, now I was getting $900, right? So I had much more interest in doing SEO for big businesses that had high ticket numbers than lower businesses. I'm just hammering this home because I made the mistake of doing this that way. I guess it was a good learning curve, but I wish I had started earlier with the high paying clients, because the work is essentially the same and the clients are essentially the same. So choosing the right niche is super, super valuable. You want to go for people that have money to spend on SEO, and if you're doing a pay per lead scheme, it's also good to go for people that have high ticket offers, right? So that's what I did. Now, you got to prepare for problems. A lot of problems I had, and I'll tell you about them now, were that when you are sending leads to a business, let's say this is a business, let's do this, this is a business, and I was sending leads to them, right? This is me sending leads. I was hoping that because they're a business and they have all this corporate structure, right, they had the skills to convert the leads. Now, the issue was that they didn't. And I was having all this work sending them leads, but then I guess I have to do parentheses. I was recording the calls. I was recording emails. I was recording everything. So I had my site, whatever. I had here a number, which was redirecting to the business number, right? I didn't put the business number on here because I wanted to track how many calls they got, how are they treating their leads, all that. Same thing for email, right? Same thing for email. And then all this would go into a spreadsheet. I guess I can go over that in later on video, but I had all this prepared, I guess. Now, here in the middle, I was tracking all the calls. I was tracking all the emails, right? And what I found after a couple of months of working with a lot of these clients was that they weren't able to convert the leads. They weren't able to pick up the phone and properly speak with the client, which I thought was crazy, because how are these businesses surviving? How are these businesses surviving if they don't know how to treat a client, a customer? And I guess they were surviving because what they were doing was enough. But if they implemented best practices of dealing with clients, they could 10x their businesses. Now, after doing SEO for all these for a long, long time, what I found out, and after getting frustrated, was, okay, let me try and see if I can improve the business as a whole. So I started doing a lot of consulting. I started doing a lot of teaching people how to treat the leads, how to nurture them, because then there needs to be a whole lead nurturing system with email marketing, SMS marketing, and I was doing all that for them, right? I was setting up all the sequences, and I found that I wasn't doing SEO anymore. I was essentially doing the marketing and the structuring of the whole business, and that was quite frustrating for me because I started this wanting to do SEO. I didn't want to deal with all these people not being able to do their job, not properly, but at the best of what I thought their abilities were. It was quite frustrating, so that's why I stopped working with local businesses. At least in Portugal, this is how it is. I'm not sure if where you live, that's how it is. But I guess I wanted to share this because this is important. Prepare for problems because they're going to happen, and you're going to have all this effort sending leads to the business, and the businesses might not be able to convert them. Now, that's why sometimes it's best to do a monthly recurring because you don't have to worry about any of this. Now, you can make more money with leads for sure, but if you don't want all the hassle of dealing with clients, just do the monthly retainer, set it and forget it. Now, if the client then wishes to cancel after a couple of months, just rent the site out to someone else, right? That's, again, the good thing about owning your asset, owning the site. You can just rent it out to anyone you want. And then I guess we can go into some of the money-making strategies. You can charge a setup fee, you can charge a cancellation fee, you can charge, or you can make them stay for at least 3 to 4 months. So, because then you have an income of 4 months guaranteed. There's a lot of things you can do, and if you want to know a bit more how I did those, you can just comment below and I'll reply. And that's essentially my whole thing, my whole journey with SEO, how I started, where it's at right now, the niches I went through, what I realized in the high ticket space of things, the problems I faced, choosing the right niches. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's important. I haven't seen many videos of people talking about how they got started in their journey and what issues they faced. And I wish I had something like this when I got started because I do think it's important to go and be transparent about things, right? Because every single business is hard. And by me sharing all this stuff, hopefully, if you're getting started or if you're already doing it, you get some insights that you're not alone, and that issues going to come up. And that's it. I'm just rambling. Hopefully you like this sort of videos. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing. I really appreciate it. I guess I'll mention this. This is the plugin I used back in the day. It's called Rank and Rent. It's unvetted. Essentially, it allows you to over your site overlay any other sites. WordPress plugin. I think I have a video here on my channel, but essentially it allows you to overlay any site over yours. So this is your site, right? It's a WordPress site. You go to the plugins, add plugin, and then you have a box. Then if you want to overlay this site, you just put this URL on here, refresh the site, and now your site is going to have this client site on top of yours. So I'll leave a link in the description for the video on how it works. Pretty simple concept, but it's quite a valuable plugin if you're doing rank and rent. And like I said, if you are calling up businesses and already have the leads, and I guess to finish off, one thing you can do is rank site number one. On the call, you can tell them, listen, I have all these leads. I don't have anywhere to send them. Do you want me to send them to you? And if they're a bit, I don't know, man, I don't know, just tell them, okay, so just go on Google, search for plastic surgery Dallas, click the first result. Before that, of course, you overlay their site on top of yours. They click the first result and they see, oh, this is my site ranking number one. And you say, yeah, that's what I can do for your business. And that's going to be a highly converting piece of information there. I guess that's it. I don't want to make this super, super long. Hopefully you found it valuable. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out vetted.com if you're in need of pre-vetted SEO experts to hire for your business. We got a bunch of these productized services, which are essentially gigs, lower ticket, one-off services. You can also, if you want to pick an SEO's brand, you can click their profile and go to the consulting call, and you can set up a 15, 30, or 60-minute consulting call with these SEO experts. And finally, you got this new managed SEO solution. If you're looking to hire someone to do all of your SEO for you, full stack SEO, so on-page SEO, off-page SEO, technical SEO, go with this. You have to request access because we don't accept everyone. So yeah, that's that. And finally, I guess I'll leave you with this Chrome plugin. We're almost at 300 users. It's called Vetted SEO Helper. Essentially a plugin that helps me and anyone else evaluate their technical SEO. It's this right here. Super cool. You can check links, images, all that. And that's it. Thank you so much again for watching, for subscribing. And hopefully you like this one. Cheers.